The question that I have for the Minister is that I'm receiving a huge amount of correspondence. This is in regard to immigration. I'm receiving a huge amount of correspondence for people that are stuck overseas. And I'm talking about people that are partners or spouses of New Zealand residents and citizens. So, Madam Chair, these people, they have the right to be here with their partner or spouse who is a New Zealand citizen or New Zealand resident. These people, some of them have gone overseas before lockdown. They got married in that country. They came back hoping that their partner or spouse will be able to join them here after their application will be processed. But because of lockdown, that person has not been able to come and join their partner or spouse here in New Zealand. And there are a lot of families in that kind of stress. And I would like to know from the Minister, what is his stance on these people that are stuck overseas, and I'm talking specifically about spouses and partners of New Zealand residents and citizens.
Can I thank the member for her question? The government obviously understands that it's a difficult time for the group of people that she has discussed in her contribution, but I think the starting point has to be that our border is first and best line of defence in order to keep the COVID-19 virus out of our communities. As a member would appreciate, as well as the cohort that she is talking about, there are also groups such as temporary visa holders who are ordinarily resident here in New Zealand who are also finding it difficult to come to New Zealand, but our borders are closed for a reason. And amongst managing all of that is the management of the isolation quarantine centres being undertaken by the Honourable Dr Megan Woods as Minister of Housing. So while we are aware and understand the difficult circumstances that some of these cohorts of people who would like to come back to New Zealand to be repatriated and reunified with their families, we also have to understand, that the border is essentially closed with a number of exemptions and exceptions. Obviously for New Zealand residents and New Zealand citizens, coming back is fine. But it will take some time for us to work and stage through every visa category in order for us to think about how we might plan some of those people who are either got partners here in New Zealand or who might ordinarily live in New Zealand back into the country. My understanding is if someone were to be in that situation, they would be able to travel back to New Zealand if they were travelling with their partners. Obviously, and also my understanding is that if they are not travelling with their partners, they are unable to re-enter the country. But again, we'll go back to my starting position, Madam Chair, that the border, again, and we're seeing obviously some sensitivities around it, is the best weapon, and especially the weapon that New Zealanders most want to see as secure to keep us safe from COVID-19.